welcome to the Tel Aviv Arena here in Israel. It's game day one of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, and it is the battle between Czech Republic and Italy. Well, as the players get ready to compete in their first game, and all of the officials from the federations and the fans that have made the journey here to wonderful Tel Aviv by the Mediterranean, we already have had one game today, so this is the first game in Group B. And then after this one, we will see Belgium and the host Israel. Here are the FIBA World Rankings for all four of those teams. Belgium at number 7. Of course, they finished third at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2 years ago. Italy at 14. Czech Republic at 23 and on down. And so it's all about starting things off on the right foot. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by one of my partners, Mark Mills. And Mark, always great to be with you, and I'm excited about this game.
Yeah, it should be an absolutely huge game. Two teams that you would say are pretty closely matched. You wouldn't pick a huge amount between them. The one thing that you might highlight might be some of the injury concerns that Coach Patachkova has around Vorachkova and also Rzingarova, who withdrew earlier prior to the tournament even starting. So can that young Czech team step up to the plate?
Well, there's a lot of promise in this Czech Republic team, and when you have some adversity, you have to overcome it if you're going to get to where you want to go. They've got the adversity. Very interesting press conference yesterday, listening to what their expectations are and how they want to play. They want to get after you. They want to get some easy buckets, get into transition, and let's see if they can have some success doing that against Italy.
Yeah, Coach was very clear. She knows she's got a young team and she's going to use that advantage. She's going to push and push. It's going to be 40 minutes of energy at both ends of the floor. They're clearly going to base it off a strong defensive stance. They'll hope that that will trigger some transition basketball and enable them to get some fast break points. But it's a big ask. First game of the tournament, you always want to pick up that win, though.
Well, the Czech Republic has that incredible history, but you really have to go back a ways. Remember, they finished runners-up at the 2010 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup when they hosted that event. And it was in 2005 when they won the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, beating Russia in the final. Of course, that avenged the 2003 FIBA Women's EuroBasket that was in Greece when Russia edged them. Deep history, but new players. And for Italy, well, they haven't had really the type of success that perhaps you might have expected, because women's basketball is so important there. But it was actually the Czech Republic back in 1995 when they played at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, finished runners-up, making it all the way to the final before falling to Ukraine.
Yeah, they're absolutely. This is the great thing. We've got two teams that have won Women's EuroBasket before. Yeah, Italy, it was the first ever Women's EuroBasket back in the 30s. But that doesn't take away from the storied kind of culture of basketball that you have in Italy. And this is a good team. They aren't coming here to make up numbers. They truly believe they can make a push. And, you speak to a lot of people outside in the basketball community. They think they've got a chance of medaling here within this tournament. And who knows, maybe they will end up surprising a lot of people and lifting the trophy.
Well, I thought they had a really good start when they played Serbia at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket back in 2 years ago in Valencia, and thought they really had a lot of promise, but then they just went off the rails.
Yeah, they would have been disappointed. That quarterfinal exit to Sweden and the way they went out by 18 points, that's going to hurt. They're going to want to kind of avenge that. And there's several players that return from that roster, so it'll be interesting to see how they use that to motivate them.
Lino Lardo and Italy all ready for the national anthems. The Czech Republic also with Coach Patachkova. They are ready, so we're going to have a pause for the playing of those national anthems. Pause in the commentary.
First, Czech Republic national anthem, Rešit hymno Czech. anthem non Italia.
Always a great moment before a game to hear those national anthems and to hear the players sing. Now they will meet at midcourt, Italy and the Czech Republic, two teams that have faced each other before in international competition and get ready to play a very important game because, Mark, you want to start with a win. Referees for today, Mai Forsberg from Denmark, the crew chief in the middle, and Michael Brooks from Poland on the left, and Alexandre Demont from France on the right. And we're going to look at the starting fives and rosters for both teams. I'll just go ahead and let you take over here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Getting off to a flying start is key. We saw that from the first game we had here earlier today. You saw the Greek reaction. It's important that both teams get off to a start. And the Czech Republic roster, there are some big players within that. Their captain Brezanova will play a big part. Villalova, obviously part of Praha as well, so a huge amount of EuroLeague women experience as well. But they're going to rely on rotation. You're going to see a lot of use from the bench, I think. They're going to look to try and keep fresh legs on the floor for the full 40 minutes. The standout player, without a doubt, Brezanova. What experience she has, the captain for the Czech Republic, a 17-year playing career. She'll bring some composure to that young roster, and they'll look to her for some emotional leadership as they progress through the tournament.
Tachkova, the coach, and kind of a new look, new generation. And I like everything, you know, from her playing days when injury kind of like really disrupted her career. She always said she knew what she wanted to be a coach. If she was coaching her team's national team, her country's national team.
Jazz ti apri, ok? Se per caso Cecilia la sua idea che esce fuori.
Yeah, and when you look at this Italian roster, again, plenty of talent in this as well. The likes of Jasmine Keys coming off the back of a great EuroLeague women's season. But then you look at, you know, so much talent in this roster, a lot more experience in this Italian roster, a more balanced roster maybe than the Czech team. But realistically, you're going to look at Xander Lassini, a small forward, to step up. Again, plenty of experience and a real leader. That was her performance in the 2021 Women's EuroBasket, nearly 15 points a game. Expect her potentially to be a focal point within that offense, but there's also some young superstars for the Italian team to look to.
Lino Lardo, the coach, and of course going back to Xander Lassini, All-Star 5 selection when she really burst onto the scene at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2017 in the Czech Republic. A remarkable tournament for her. Tachkova knows all about her. It's one thing knowing about Xander Lassini, it's another thing stopping her.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the easiest thing to do, to find a way to stop a player that has so many different threats as well. It's not a one-dimensional offense that she brings to the floor, so that will be the key for me. Can the Czech team really reduce the offensive firepower that the Italian team have. If the Czech team can really determine this game and dictate the tempo, then they've got a real chance of coming out with a big opening game win, which they really, really need.
And we already mentioned that. They won the first ever FIBA Women's EuroBasket a long time ago.
Very long time ago. They don't want to get to the 100-year mark, do they? They don't want to be celebrating the 100 years without another one in the trophy
Sure,
cabinet.
none of these players were in that team.
Grandparents, maybe?
It is worth saying also that Eliška Hamzová, number 10, for this Czech Republic team. Her mom was the point guard of the Czech team that made it to the final in 2003 in Greece. Incredible.
I wonder how many generations you're going to get to commentate on.
Well, let's hope many more. Hello everybody, welcome to Tel Aviv, Israel. The FIBA Women's EuroBasket game between Italy and the Czech Republic is underway. The Czechs wearing the red, going up against Italy in the white with the blue trim. The Azzurre. And Verona is going to inbound the basketball. Boy, she was terrific this season, wasn't she? She's going to inbound it. Andre catches it. Lovely start for Olvis Andre.
And no real surprise, the Italian team looking for that front court, looking for the size advantage to try and capitalize early.
And there is the answer from you-know-who, Hamza. Good size for a point guard, isn't she? Zandalicini. And Andre goes up for the rebound and surrounded by 3 Czechs. And the basketball goes over to the Czechs.
As a brave move, darting down the lane so early on, but you have a feeling, and watching the Czech team train yesterday, they have a real no-fear approach to it. They are here to absolutely make a statement, and you know, their youth just enables them to get over some of those nerves.
Yorlova whips the pass into Stupilova, and now down low to the woman of the moment, Brezanova, and then the long three-pointer, no good from Polishinska. Brezanova with the rebound, boy, scrapping away with Hamzová. And then Verona drives in and praised her, but she missed a crazy layup. And now quickly on the counter, the Czech Republic, and Jasmine Keys swats the basketball from Stupilova out of bounds.
And you can see a slight contradiction between the two styles here. Straight away, Czech Republic, they're laying their stall out. They're saying, we're going to run. We're going to get out. We're going to play at pace for 40 minutes. The Italian team probably don't want to see that tempo of game. They'd rather it slowed down. They'd rather have the opportunity to get into maybe a bit more of a half-court set.
Oh boy, the turnover, and quickly Verona, and she is met, she crosses mid-court.
And what a season Verona had, finishing up at the Final Fours, you know, having a big Final Fours as well at Skio. And you kind of sometimes forget she's just 23 years old.
Keys had a great season in the EuroLeague women, missing the Skio star. There's Verona. And she misses with her first 3. Polishinska over to Vyorlova. And miss. And now Zandalicini.
Defense is certainly winning the game at the moment. A really low-scoring game. They're pretty good opportunities that they're getting, but the defense is closing out well.
Priafico for 3! Well, she spent the season playing for Anna Montagnano, one of our commentator colleagues, calling games in Ljubljana. Maybe she'll get to commentate on her later in the tournament. Here is the dump down low to Brezanova, and Brezanova doesn't live it. Polishinska puts it up, and good rebound, Yorlova. Dangerous pass by Brezanova with Verona. Look at Hamza again. Good penetration. Poloshinska puts it up and knocks down a three-pointer.
That's real composure from this Czech team. They weren't phased, they weren't rushed, they weren't trying to get the quickest opportunity. They took their time and they trusted that their offense was going to produce them.
Zandalicini, the double team comes, she gets it over to Keys, who doesn't want the three. She wants to drive, and she misses. And maybe the three-point option would have been better there. Look at Hamza push it so impressively. Brezanova for three. You can't count it. Check it out.
And the first momentum in this game is being grabbed with both hands by the Czech Republic. You can see the confidence grow as every possession passes, and it's a real threat for Italy.
And the pass down low to Keys. She catches, she shoots, she scores.
And Jasmine Keys has had a real development year. Starting really more as a role player and really developing into a leader both in a domestic team as well as on the international team now as well.
Hamzova. Puts it back, give and go. And misses the layup. Zandalicini up to Andre. Hamzova with the hold.
Yeah, and this is that was a smart foul. There's the backdoor cut by Keys, though, and we saw the play before this that she didn't want to take that three, and that's going to be a problem for her because if she keeps turning down those threes, which Brezanova clearly won't, as she hits that three and celebrates rightfully so, but if Jasmine Keys turns down those three balls, it means that the Czech defense can just sag so much to help out.
Oh, quick pass back down low to Verona. They forgot about the Czechs. Very opportunistic play. Veteran Fiorlova, her pass just off the hands of his teammate, and quickly Zandalicini. Spriafka, another three. This one short, falls right to Keys. Brezanova didn't go for the basketball.
Down the other end of the floor, I think Brezanova felt that maybe the defense from Zandalicini was a little bit physical. We'll see a replay, though, of that wonderful out-of-bounds play. And so often, that's the weakest point of an out-of-bounds defense, is the person actually inbounding the ball. And there's the backdoor cut from Keys again. Italy starting to get a little foothold in this game now with that one-point lead.
Zandalicini knocks it down.
And pure automatic from Zandalicini. Oh, and they've given it away.
Wow! Verona. Usually what the Czechs do to opponents.
I think if we see another score here from Italy, if they continue this run, you might see an early timeout from the Czech team.
Fiorlova from downtown. It's the rebound. And tough attempt. Chekova missing her first shot. Now down low to Andre, and she's fouled. So Supalova puts her on the line. And I think you're going to have some highs, some mixed emotions, but that's just like toxic for your chances turning the basketball over in that situation.
And it is, and it's one of those things you're going to take when you've got a young team. You're going to expect them to make those mistakes, but it'll be interesting to see now what Coach Tachkova wants to talk about in this timeout. What's she going to focus in on to try and change?
Obraný doskok je hrozně náročný. Fakt tam se mít kontaktní, musíme se zapřít. Když jsme tam menší hráčka, dá míč dolů, tak po tom míči jdeme. Vrátit se zpátky, budou trestný hody, zkusíme teď jít do zone pressu, ještě v této sestavě, jak jsme, a zkusíme do trojky jít, jo? Ale jsou tam trestný hody, tak útočíme. Jo, pardon, takže útočíme, takže příště to zkusíme a jdeme parohy dolů, zkusíme pořádně, cajte. Obě dvě, pojďme se ale přiclonit, ta hráčka. Jedna jde kolem a ta druhá, když tě čeká nahoře, tak si pojď pejt do rohu hřiště. Zadribluj si.
Zandalicini, one of the Here's those Bologna players in this team finding keys down low, and again, the quick pass. And it's not just about scoring, it's about finding teammates, it's about having your hands up, but then when you have a chance, you knock it down.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you're guarding Zandalacini. Yes, she's a scoring threat, but her court vision is second to none. Already got 3 assists in this game alongside her 3 points. So, yeah, she is living up to the pre-game hype.
Well, Basandre, the way she has looked early has been good as well for this Italy team. And again, she has the experience now, that last FIBA Women's EuroBasket under her belt. Bardo and his colleagues putting their heads together, trying to figure some things out here early on, making sure they're on the same page. Senji Zanotti and Massimo Romano, his assistants.
Yeah, now the key is how does the Czech team react? Italy will go into a full court press, denying the point guard possession, so really slowing the Czechs' offense down. So how does this young team react now?
Olashinska dribbles left into the paint, drives in, takes a tough shot, makes it.
One of the more veteran players, Olashinska, and she'll need to take on that mantle a little bit more maybe than previous times.
Yep, the 26-year-old Olashinska, now the good defense, forcing turnover. Mike Kamarova in number 1 is the one that came up with the basketball and now diving for the ball, and a foul called on, I believe, Verona.
And that is key for Czech. They talked about defense in their press conference. This is the move inside from Olashinska, going in amongst the trees to get that one to go. But for the Czech team, it's the other end of the floor. It's got to be a high intensity, a real energy-focused defense to try and spark some easy points in transition.
Right now it's Chachova, Olashinska, Sklenorova, Stupalova, and Saithamarova. They say it's all over, but it's not. And Czechs stabilizing things nicely after Italy had the momentum, but they're still down by 5. Here is Olashinska again driving in and making sure that she gets the contact.
And you have to love the aggression. That's exactly what they need to go do. They need to go straight into the paint. They need to attack these Italian bigs. If they can cause a little bit of foul trouble in the Italian roster, that's going to cause rotation issues for Coach Lardo.
That foul was actually on Spriafico. Olashinska, you can see that they depend a lot on her. When the going gets tough, somehow, some way, get to the basket and score.
She spent a little bit of time at North Carolina, so maybe that will. Does she know how good she is? Yeah, she was there for a year. I've heard it's a good place to play ball.
You tell me she's a Tar Heel?
She may very well be.
Well, that explains it.
You are not allowed to be biased towards her now.
She's going to sit down. Anybody that's spent any time in Chapel Hill obviously has been blessed with the gift of gifts. Here we go. Stupalova in the game, number 4. Stupalova drives in. They don't make us hit. And Bestagno back to Spriafico. And scrappy play down low, and this time it's Zandalacini that's fouled.
And there's the move down the lane, the easy finger roll. Really, with the size that Italy have, they shouldn't be giving up the paint that easy. Coach is happy though.
Just pan checks into the game. Number 11. Angelova trying to stick with her. Oh, good hands by Sklenorova. Hamerova's going to guard the inbounds, but they get it in easily to Zandalacini. Zandalacini stops, and nope, she doesn't. Good tough rebound by Stupalova. Oh, missed the travel. Stupalova. Pass knocked away by Pan.
Yeah, and I think the key for Italy is exactly what we saw in that last defensive stance, just a bit more physicality, just a little bit more energy and a bit more body on the defensive end, and a little hand check, a hip check call for that foul.
So more size checks in. Who actually, Brezinova comes in, as does Kubai for Italy.
And that is going to be an interesting battle. Pestagno against Brezinova. If we see that, that really is two very physical players that will go toe-to-toe, the two captains.
I think Brezinova's probably a lot more physical. There's the dump that goes off the hands of Kubai. At least on the early evidence. That's right, get your photo with Isa. That's the name of the mascot. I saw you getting one earlier, Mark.
Can't miss the opportunity.
Pass to the corner, and Belova doesn't settle, drives in, but takes kind of an off balance, off the wrong foot shot. And the bump and the offensive foul called on Pestagno, as Santucci was running off the screen.
The Watney ref face to perfection. Years and years of practice in that innocent space.
You tell me if she's been. She didn't move into her.
It's an illegal screen. That's an easy one for the officials to call.
Especially if she kind of screened her from behind. She made contact after she'd already gone past.
Be interesting to see now as Zandalicini going to the bench. How does the Italian offense change? Because they put a lot through her hands in the first 8 minutes of this game. Where will it go to now?
Now down low to Brezinova.
And I like the change in structure on this Czech offense. They've almost gone to a 5-out offense, trying to leave as much space in the paint as they can and only putting bodies in the paint when they're about to make an attack on the basket.
Pestagno gets the rebound, puts it up. They battle away. Kubai fighting away with Stupalova.
That was a really physical phase of play. Pestagno going in so strong, but here's the play. Brezinova cutting to the basket, getting on that basket side, and the Italian defense tries to collapse, but it's just a little too late.
I don't see anybody stopping her, to be honest, in this game. Maybe Andre might have a chance.
I think they can, but it's going to be a team effort. It's not going to be done on a one-to-one basis.
Timeout, Italy. Let's go down to the huddle.
Riusciamo a dare sta palla e giocare, entrare in 5 subito magari, che ci leviamo in perciò guardie, mentre correte, guardate la palla e vediamo se riusciamo a giocare 5 subito. Ok? Adesso Lella, fai pressione qua, facciamo un'azione di 3, va bene? Un'azione solo di 3. Pressione con le guardie un po' alte, appena passa a metà canto ci
Palla in
ok. 1, 2, 3. No.
Stupalova going to the basket. It's interesting listening. Sadly, my Italian maybe not as good as it should be as Brezinova goes inside. But you feel for the Italians, they really don't want this game to be close going into the fourth quarter. They would like to get a nice big lead to take into the fourth quarter if they can, because if you leave a team, a roster like this Czech roster hanging around you, they have a real chance of coming out with the win. You'd say the Italians were favourites heading into this game after the first 8.5 minutes. I'd say this is pretty much anyone's game.
Absolutely. This is a very feisty Czech Republic team with some physicality. And they're not afraid of anybody, but that time Kubai steps in and steals the pass from Kamsova.
Yeah, that's a good read by Kubai.
Santucci, beautiful play. Santucci, the teenager, getting into the lane and dumping it off.
And I like that. When Zandalicini is not on the floor, Italy should run a faster pace because they don't necessarily have the options in the half court. You want to get out, get a bit of tempo, get a bit of transition.
And now the pressure from Italy, forcing the turnover.
That's what Coach Lado was calling for, a little bit more chase out, a little bit more energy on the defensive side of things, but can they capitalize offensively as well in the final minute of this first quarter?
I think something else is they called the foul on Hamsova, another foul on her. One thing that Italy has continuity, you know, 5 Venezia players, 3 Schio players, a couple of Bologna players. I mean, this is a team, these are players that should know each other well.
And plenty of players that have been in and out of the national team setup for quite a few years now. So you're right, there should be some cohesion in that group. They look quite relaxed in yesterday's practice sessions. Maybe not as focused as some of the other teams that we saw, but yeah, it looks like they were a group. But you never know until you get to this first game. It's really an acid test on how strong your group is.
Here goes Hamsova again. We haven't seen her put up the jumper yet, but certainly putting the ball on the deck and going hard to the hole, she is good. 17 apiece. Santucci, wide open in the corner, 3-point shot. And Pan tried alertly, knowing where the clock was, to tap it back up and in. Well, Italy got the shot they wanted right at the end. Messina didn't knock it down, and they are knotted at 17 with the Czech Republic at the end of 1.
Interesting first quarter. Both teams looking to go to the basket. They weren't leaning on the 3-ball too much. Italy maybe a little bit more than the Czech Republic, but this is a game that's going to be won in the paint. So yeah, plenty of highlight plays from that first quarter. But we were expecting maybe a little bit of nerves from the Czech Republic team, but we saw none of it in that first quarter. They stepped up in a big way, some big plays as well. Very structured team from Tachkova. And they are here to win some games and see how far this young roster can go. For Italy, Xander Lassini seems to be the mainstay of their offense. That said, starting to show a little bit of momentum. Once she sat on the bench, they came together maybe a little bit more as a team than just one offensive focus. Rezanova, we highlighted her as the key player before the game, and she's certainly been that so far for the Czech Republic. 5 points, 2 rebounds, perfect from the field so far, really taking on that captain's role, but beyond that, Oleshinska's got 6. Hamzova's got 4, so very strong.
Scanning the barcode, folks. You get Courtside 1891 in your smartphone, and you will be able to have everything at your fingertips when it comes to following this FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Hamsova again, brings it up against Santucci. Picks up the dribble though. Gets it back. And the reach, and the foul has been called on Kubai. So that is her first. Get it down low, and she gets it to drop. Oh, nice finish from Shipova. Testagno. She takes the contact from Shipova and falls down.
And if someone was to ask you how does Bastanu play the game, you would just play at that last possession, really, wouldn't you? As we see the score at the other end. There is nothing graceful particularly, it's just full physical basketball, but that's exactly what a team needs from her right now.
Shipova was unlucky not to get in one call there. She was hit on the left arm as she went up. She did a great job of concentrating. And what I like even more, she didn't look at the referee and ask for the foul. She just played through it. Stagno makes the second. So it's a 1-point lead for the Czech Republic. They had a bright start. Rezanova, high arcing three, front and back of the rim, and stays out. She's a good shooter, Fassini. They leave her open, and they pay the price.
Yeah, absolute fundamental shooter, and you can't give her that kind of space. You're almost better overplaying her and trying to deny the passing lane by being so tight to her.
Again. The team now trailing by a point. Andalova, high arcing three, long. It was late in the shot clock. Now the pass. Fassina's good, but she's not going to chase that down.
You've got to love the thought process behind that pass. She wants to get out. She's trying to get the game going. So I do think the Italian team look a lot better when they get out and try and put some tempo into it, but maybe a little bit too much on that one.
Andalova again. Oh, she made the moves, didn't finish with the left hand. Oh, beautiful pass, Santucci, but just a little bit ahead of Kubai. But I think Lardo's not going to be too bothered by that. She's trying to make a play. You're going to have to live with the mistakes of the youngster.
Yeah, and you absolutely are, and it's not just that. That pass is perfect if Kubai wasn't 192 tall. It's a pass that was for someone maybe a little bit smaller. Maybe Santucci wasn't expecting one of her bigs to be so far up the floor, and she was expecting one of her backcourt players to be alongside her.
Stupilova back in the game. Orlova back to Brezanova. Puts her head down, drives in with the left hand. Look at Stupilova crash the boards, but she can't hold on to it. Now Francesca Pan comes down. Oh, look at the pass from Pan. That was risky. And Pan can shoot it as well, and misses, but Pestagno now rebounds it, can't control it. Andalova bringing some rain and fouled by Santucci. A potential 4-point play.
And Andalova, I think Santucci landed on her foot. We know this is something that the refs have been told to be very clear on, that you can't undercut a shooter. And rightfully so, probably one of the most dangerous things defensively that you can do. We've seen so many high-profile injuries from exactly that play. Thankfully, Andalova had landed, and Santucci actually landed on her foot rather than the other way around.
Yeah, that was clear looking, and it has to be a play that is basically just run out of basketball. It's so dangerous for the shooter.
It can be an absolute career ender. That kind of injury, you can see it, you know, if not a career ender, but even taking months off you.
But she does not complete the 4-point play. They get a shot for Pan in the corner. And this is another one, but Santucci, terrific rebound by the guard. Sanvosini, little step back action, and she misses. Orlova comes up with the basketball.
And that's good Italian offense. They didn't get the score, but they disrupted that Czech zone defense really well. They really manipulated and pulled it apart.
So another foul called on Italy. And that's on Santucci. Oh no, excuse me, it is on Keys, I think. Jasmine Keys. So Verona back in the game. And now a hold on Pan.
And these kind of fouls that we're seeing from the Italian team are classic frustration fouls. The game's not gone the way that they were hoping or that they were expecting. some frustration starting to creep into their game. As long as they can focus it and not maybe focus at one another, that frustration, and fall apart as a team, then it's not necessarily a concern.
Get back in the game as well. Hamzova, her pass, well, almost a turnover. Stupilova gets it over to Holashevska, and the well-rested number 13 drills it.
Second three of the game, and becoming the real hot hand to go to for the Czech team. This 5-point lead for the Czech team will be a worry for Coach Lado, because I'm not sure at the moment his team have the answer. There's the replay, there's the corner ball three. God, I love that. Celebrations from the bench as well. The Czech team are definitely that. They are a team. They are here together. They are going to look out for each other for the full 40.
Goes Verona. Passes back outside to Pam. Will it finally drop? Yes, it will. She's not going to keep missing.
The Italian fans watching, they will be breathing a huge sigh of relief right now, because things were starting to go a little bit south for the Italian team, and that hopefully will have settled some nerves for them.
There's an over pump fake. Gets Pan off her feet, then drives in. The toughness by Pan. Andalacini now, guarded by Holashevska. Pam, will it be two in a row? Yes, it will. Leaves a hand out on the follow through, as if to say that is money. And Italy back in front thanks to Francesca Pan.
Yeah, just starting to see a little bit of fatigue on that chase out now. Look, Rezanova a step too slow to chase out Pan, and beautiful shooting form, keeps the arm up high as the net bulges. And the Italian team now, momentum starting to swing back to them as they take a 1-point lead.
A sprintček, hráček, zpět, dobrat si je. Tady bude potrestaná každá chyba, jenom se zpátky soustředit, tak jdeme zpátky do hry. Jo, Příza, Emma, podívej se, máme ještě, máme bonusy, máme 2 bonusy. Side přitlačí na míč, poslouchejte chvíli. Side přitlačí na míč, pojďme víc do křídel, do přihrávek. My potřebujeme zisky, nedali jsme ještě žádný protitok, jenom protože nemáme zisky. Nenecháme je hrát, oni teď do nás jdou daleko víc, faulujou víc jak my, a my musíme být důraznější. Útok opravdu pohyb, zahraj pár rohy nahoru a cajte, když ti to vrátí.
And after a little bit of run from the Czechs, the Italian team have come back in, but that's a huge 3-ball.
It wasn't bad defense.
No, it wasn't.
Pan got the hand on the back, or Kubai got the hand on the basketball, but here's Pan.
And you do wonder, yeah, if Pan hadn't been there, it would now be a 5-point lead for the Czech team, and a very different prospect going into the last 5.5 minutes of this first half. But we're expecting this game to be a close one, and I'm grateful to say this is living up to all my expectations.
So Holashevska found the basketball. EuroBasket gets it over in time. Italy trying to pick up the defense. Stupilova gets it to Holashevska. Boy, tough catch, tough defense, and it goes. Stupilova, boy, Italy couldn't have hardly done any more.
And that's one of those plays as a neutral. The amount of quality in that play, you're almost willing it to go in because it deserved points at the end of it.
Kubai's pass, almost a turnover. Andalacini has it. Oh, look at her change direction so quickly. Oh, nice pass to Verona. Verona's not hitting her shots today.
Yeah, and there's just those flashes within Andalacini's game that just makes you remember at what level she's playing the game. Here's the play at the other end of the floor, the pick and roll. Oleszynska gets the pass inside. I mean, that's a big finish by Stupilova.
Terrific D from Keys.
Can't do no more than that. You cannot play better defense than that.
Oleszynska trying to stay with Pan, but Pan had the look, but a foul called on The Czech Republic's number 22, Čechova, Anna Čechova. Cecilia Zandalasini able to get her hands on the ball. She needs more touches. She's getting them. She backs her way down low against Vyorolova, puts it up, and it doesn't drop. And Holashinska brings it up for the Czechs. Look at that, boy. And I have to say, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. Holashinska really come with some confidence here, looking to lead the team a little as well. 26 years old, you wouldn't say she's a veteran, but she is in this roster and she's taking on that role really, really well. Really sets the tone from some of her teammates as well, and you can feel that they're being dragged along and pulled up by her.
Czechs are not hitting their free throws right now, and you know, that's never a good thing. Late in the game, those things start to add up.
And you know my bugbear. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the
missed free throws.
Yeah, it's a crime. It's an absolute crime at this level.
Verona working against Saithamalova, and Saithamalova wins the battle. Yeah, I was about to say that Verona's not on her A game, and then I looked at her numbers, 4 points and 3 assists, but she played so exceptionally well this season for Skio. She gets up limping a little bit. She wants to stay in the game.
Yeah, a real breakout season at the moment, though I don't feel that the Italian offense has the structure that's going to benefit Verona's style of point guard. She wants to create, she has good court vision, but seems a little too static at the moment.
Holashinska over to Stupalova, and misses everything, but it still got time on the shot clock. And Andre from behind knocks the ball away from Čechova. Look at that, Vyorolova reaches in. Look at Keys get out on the ground. Look at both teams. They're getting after it. Look at him.
And you've got to love that. When players throw themselves at a hardwood, they don't do that through thinking through it. It's just a possession. They want the possession more than anything else, and with the possession arrow, that will go in favor of the Czech team. But Holashinska walking towards us with a wry smile on her face, just knowing that she really should have gained possession then, but maybe was thinking a little bit too much about how she could get the ball up to Vyorolova rather than securing the ball completely.
Čechova, and the foul called on Sprayafika.
Yeah, and it's the right call. She certainly impeded Holashinska trying to get away, but now with the Italian team in the penalty, a real opportunity here if the Czech Republic can get their free throw game to improve, for them to really open up a lead.
Holashinska played for Casademont Zaragoza in Spain. This is that one as well. So their free throws right now becoming a little bit of an issue. Makes it 1-2.
And she's frustrated with herself there as well, a real shrug of the shoulders. Having a bit of a word with herself as she goes back down the floor. She knows she needs to make those free throws because Italy will keep sending it to the line.
Matilda Villa in the game, number 2. Backup point guard comes in for Verona. For Italy, now Keys. Villa drives in on a nice little runner, but follows up the miss. Keys open, knocks it down. She shot better than 40% from deep in the early women.
Yeah, she's smart. She knows which is her shot and which is not. She's not forcing things from range, Jasmine Keys.
Zandalasini blanketing and almost getting in and scoring, but Slanarova not able to finish. Now offensive foul, Keys setting the pick. Now we saw the last time Destano complained, but it was a good call. Let's see what this one is.
Clearly the officials are going to be keen on this because it does provide such an advantage if you set the illegal screen. Let's have a look at Keys, whether she places her feet or not. Ooh, I'm not sure that angle's going to give us enough. I don't know if it's just the left hand on the hip check. She did put both hands on the back. That is a problem. Whether she pushes or not, just don't put your hands there and then the officials can't call anything. I don't think she put any pressure on it, but the officials see hands on the back, they're going to make a call.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But just avoid the hand check. Spins. You don't want to have to guard her. She gets it over to Alden.
And that's the part of the game that I love from Jasmine Keys. She just puts in so much for either her team or her national team. She puts everything she can into it. She tries to gain as many extra possessions as she can. And it's those kind of things within tournament play that can really make you progress.
So Hamzova's out of the game with 3 fouls. She's the only player in the game with 3. Vila drives in. She's getting some good looks. She's just not knocking them down so far.
Now, Villa's an interesting one. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since we've had such hype around such hype around a young Italian women's player as we have around Villa. And the coach yesterday was trying to take some of that pressure off. He was saying she will be a great. There's no two ways about that, but there's no pressure for her to be a great at this tournament. It's very early in that process for her, but you watch the way she plays, it's just a natural flow. It's such a way of reading the game at such a young age.
Stops and knocks it down. That is talent.
That's a beautiful handle. Stops on a dime, puts the ankle breaker onto Sklenarova and finishes it.
Andalova, almost another travel. She was able to stop the drive and a little short. Good D from Italy. Czech missing that layup. Here's Spriatico. Down the 3.
And when Italy are playing at pace, they look so much better. They look so much more confident when they try and slow the game down and get in the half court. If I'm Coach Lardo, I'm saying, look, tempo, tempo, tempo. We've got to look for transition in every offense, and only when the door is fully shut do we then slow it down.
Good pass outside to Viorlova for 3.
EuroBasket is one of those players that when she can get hot from the 3, she can score in a hurry, and that would be a worry for the Italian team. They want to try and shut her down before she finds that rhythm.
Second oldest player on the team after Brezinova. Viorlova's 29. Villa missing right at the end of the half. She was open. It doesn't fall, and what a game we've got, folks, here in Tel Aviv. Italy lead at 33-32 over the Czech Republic at halftime.
Yeah, what a first half we've had. There's the shooting stats, as you can see. Not a game that's really been played hugely from the outside. A little bit more perimeter play in that second quarter as a couple of players started to get hot, particularly Pan for Italy. Italy dominating the rebounding battle 24-16, but I don't think the Czech team will be overly worried about that statistic at the moment. They're looking to play very smart offense and really go after the Italian team. Some big plays in that first half from the Czech team. Handel over there, hitting the 3 ball, but leading the way was Holoshinska. 11 points, 2 from 4 from downtown, 3 from 6 from the free throw line. Brezinova just behind her with 5 points and Hamzova with 4, but Holoshinska seems to be the main focal point. As for Italy, well, they struggle to find momentum on the offensive end at times. When they played with more tempo, it certainly looked a lot better for them from the 3 ball, 4 from 13, so shooting just shy of 31%. They won't be too upset by that, but they put a lot into it. But Pan hitting back-to-back 3s really kept them in that first half where the Czech team are starting to take some momentum.
And it really is kind of surprising to me that Italy have out-rebounded the Czechs as much as they have. 24-16 in the game. 10 offensive rebounds. And we know in that first game with Montenegro winning against Greece, that was a huge stat.
It really is. I think the key for Italy is just the depth in size that they have compared to the Czech team. You know, they truly are playing two, almost three legit front court players at all times, whereas you would say for the Czech team, they probably are relying on Bresanova as their one legitimate big to step in and do that job. So you would expect to maybe give up a few offensive rebounds, but I'm sure that's something that Coach Patachkova will be looking at.
You need character. You need chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Oh, what a pass that was. Goodness gracious me, are you kidding me? Wonderful.
Slovenian team is such fun to watch.
Great aggressive take by Gary Williams. Bosnia with another opportunity to cut into this lead. Possible 4-point play, people! Bosnia making a comeback here in this fourth quarter. Don't go away. Really Massey, spin move, always works the lay there.
Here's where they might do some damage. Spain, open floor, Dominguez goes right at Bentley. Oh, she makes an incredible shot. Unbelievable. Falling down. Dominguez, look at this.
Yep, sure is a foul. And a nice soft touch in there.
There's the backboard I was telling you about. That's why you use it.
There we go.
It can be your friend.
Nice spin move from Lloyd there. We have about a 2-second differential. Shot clock, game clock, Julia Alban, and they score! What a big time shot from a big time player.
Well, Petra Holoshinska leading the way for the Czech Republic in scoring, who have really tried to match this talented Italy team and have done so. They actually went up by several points, but Italy, the toughness brought them back. But Holoshinska, well, holy moly, she can really fill it up.
Yeah, she can ball. She's shown in that first half that, you know, and you can see that the team are quite happy for her to take that lead. And it's interesting because they're playing a clear rotation swap. Her and Andalova come on and come off and trade with each other, and there is a drop. You know, no disrespect to Andalova, but there is a drop when Holoshinska's not on the floor.
And then kind of a balanced attack by Italy. It's not often that you'll say Francesca Pan is leading them, although she does have a great jump shot, and we've seen it today twice. Not a player that you can afford to leave open.
No, definitely not, and that's been the problem for the Czech team. They have left her open. You look at the three balls that she's hit, and you know there's chasing out defense, but it's just a step too slow, and that's going to be key for the Czech team. If they want to come away with this important opening day win, they are going to have to make sure that they are chasing out the perimeter shooters.
So Zandalicini, the role of scorer, but also playmaker, finding Pan. Should also be noted that Laura Spreafico also has 6 points for Italy.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first half for Italy. I don't feel, even though they have a point lead, they are in control of this game effectively on the scoreboard. I don't feel as though they have imposed themselves on the game. I don't feel that they have controlled this game as much as maybe you would say. And you know, you often hear the cliche, the sign of a great team is you're winning games even when you're not playing to your optimum. You would definitely say that around Italy right now. I don't think they're playing anywhere near the level they can. It's for the Czech team, though, to continue to disrupt that, because that's what they've done in that first half. They've disrupted Italy from finding their flow.
Yeah, and that's how the Czechs want to play. They want to create turnovers. They want to score easy buckets. And really, Italy have done a good job of preventing that for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely they have. It's been an interesting battle. Game one that we had earlier today was a real back and forth affair between Montenegro and Greece, and you just feel like we're being dealt another really good game against two very different teams, but two very evenly matched teams.
Well, all three games in the FIBA Women's EuroBasket today have been good. You just talked about Montenegro holding on to beat Greece 74-69. Greece made a late run, but just couldn't quite get back. So great win for Montenegro. Slovakia and Hungary, it was a tie game in the fourth quarter early, and Hungary ended up running away, scoring 34 points in the fourth quarter to win 89-67. So I'm sure Slovakia, who, you know, formerly, when you talk about Czechoslovakia, a lot of these Czech players will know that will be eyebrow raising how that one got away from them. Maybe Slovakia, they weren't one of the better teams at the last EuroBasket. Hungary's a team that you would expect them to be competitive against, so that is a bad loss for them to fade in that fourth quarter.
To be honest, this is the thing for me for this year's tournament. There are some clear favourites who you expect to be in the latter stages, but you don't guarantee that they're there. There's no one that you're just like, yeah, absolutely, they should be top of the podium, guaranteed, they're set, they're going to be in the semi-finals at least, and you can't say that. There's so many teams that are capable of beating one another, and there's so many interesting matchups.
I'm not sure I've seen a FIBA Women's EuroBasket that is this wide open ever. And that goes, you know.
That's a long time, right?
No, just in 2 decades. If you go back to 2000, for me, if you go back to 2003, you know, the Czech Republic and Russia, clearly the best two teams. Spain got third place, beat Poland with Margot Didek and that Polish team.
I think there's a lot of conversation around the likes of Belgium and Serbia and France and Spain. You've got the usual suspects, but they're still not sure that they're going to be there.
But you look back at it, you had Russia that won it in 2003, the Czech Republic won it in 2005. There was a Russia won it in 2000. You always knew Russia were going to be there. They're about France in 2009. And then you've got Russia again, and really Spain then, the reign of Spain. So all of those, in my opinion, so it's just wide open. So that's why these opening day games, I think, they're very important, but also if you lose today, it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but for me, it kind of sets the tone. If you're one of the, say, smaller nations, one of the teams that aren't in that favourites conversation, a win today can really set you on the right path to that kind of upset. that every kind of smaller nation wants. They want to be that one that, oh yeah, that year that, you know, this team won and no one saw it coming, it was out of left field. Most of those teams get a good start to their tournament. Most of them have a very strong positive start, and that kind of provides the platform for them to build from. And it's very quick in this group stage. You lose your opening game, it almost makes game 2 a must-win game for you, and no one wants to be in that position where it's a must-win game and you've only had one game. So it's a critical place, and you saw that from the reaction from the Greek team earlier today. That loss, they now know they go into their next game really with their backs against the wall with the need to the win.
But again, as we watch the teams warm up for the second half, the good thing about Greece, as they lost that game, they battled, they came back, and they managed the difference in the margin of victory for Montenegro, because potentially, if you get into a 3-way tie, you know, and also they will go into that Latvia game thinking that they're going to win. Yeah, that they've got a great chance to win. So that's a winnable game for them.
Oh, without a doubt, and they won't, you know, they won't be downhearted, and they won't be.
But you look at the other game, Hungary and Slovakia.
Yeah, that's tough to bounce back.
That's tough from Slovakia, because now not only do they lose, but they lose by 22 points.
It's the mindset that comes with that size of a loss. Are we doing the wrong thing? Do we have the wrong roster? And fingers start getting pointed at certain people or the coach. And yeah, that's a tough place to come from. But Coach Lardo, as we see there, and the brain trust around him, will be looking to build out in this second half. But sitting here now at the half-time, I have a feeling this one's going down to the wire. It just feels two very different teams, but they're swapping momentum. They're handing control of the game back and forth, and I think it's going to go all the way to the fourth.
So, again, just as foul trouble, only for Hamzova. She has 3 fouls for the Czech Republic. No player with 3 fouls, but a bunch of players with 2 fouls for Italy.
Adesso iniziamo a giocare anche flash, ok? Flash up, zipper, pick and roll. State attente che su questo zipper lavorate bene, perché loro avete visto che sono aggressivi. Occhio a questo passaggio che anche non anticipa.
Strany. Peco nebo Vio, první křídlo odehne pryč a druhý už jde ten stagger. Vy jste dostáhnout sem. Eliška tohle může někdy využít, když budou všichni zády, že můžeme najet, anebo pokračujeme jeden stagger, druhý stagger. To jsme si říkali. Více hýbeme bez míče. A když vás nechtějí pustit, no tak hold, jdu si taky do hráčky a taky to hold trošičku přihrajou, jo?
Well, download the app for the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Get in your smartphone, and you get so many good links to stats, results, schedules, fixtures, news, interviews, photos. And just like the courtside 1891 app, you get the FIBA Women's EuroBasket app in your smartphone, and everything at your fingertips.
I wonder if we're going to see any major change from either coaching team. You wouldn't imagine so, particularly from the Czech side. I don't think we're going to see a real change of how they want to approach this game, and I don't think Coach Lardo for Italy will have made huge changes either. I think he'll just be asking maybe for a little bit more focus and intensity from the Italian team, and maybe a little bit more pace to how they play the game. But you love it when a game is perfectly balanced like this one is right here. Going into the second half, the Italians with just that single point lead.
Second half underway here at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, the opening day battle between Italy and the Czech Republic. Italy with possession, wearing the white, attacking the basket to the left on your screen. And Vila, her pass off the fingertips of her teammate and into the hands of the Czechs, who can now take the lead. Hamzova, her pass, trying by Spriatico.
Interesting that the Italian team have gone really to start this second half, giving the youngster the chance to hopefully get some momentum for them in this third quarter early.
Orlova tries to get the Bresanova, but they were ready, both Andre and Keys.
That's much sharper defense from the Italian team. Their switching was much crisper, and the communication was good.
Zandalicini. Oh, look at Holishinska. diving in, making life miserable.
You see that play from Holoshinska and you kind of admire it, but you also think, you know how important you are for your team on the offensive end. You need to be exerting that amount of energy or foul trouble this early on in the third quarter.
Well, you know you're good when you're being asked to guard the other team's best player. So that just goes to show you, she can not only fill it up. Okay, now she's coming out on Spriaffico.
Yeah, for me that makes sense. You want to try and give her a rest if you can, but Spriaffico had a great first half as well, so maybe not the assignment that will give her more space.
Well, the way they switch, it doesn't really matter. Andre catches and scores with the left hand.
Yeah, Xander Lassini once again the provider. Great vision. She knows she's going to draw extra attention, and she uses that to create some space for her teammates.
Holoshinska loses control against Spriaffico, used her body well, and Vila goes in, and Matilda Vila waltzes up for the layup.
And that will take some nerves off the youngster. Getting your first points in the tournament nice and early, that's good. Nice to steal.
Big possession here for the Czechs. Haven't really seen much separation for the Italians. Hamzova. And Brezanova, despite the attention of Andre, but then misses the shot.
And this Italian defense, this is not the defense we saw in the first half. This is defense played at a much higher level.
Keys catches, scores, and is fouled by Stupalova.
And this is when people talk about defense leading to offense. That's what's happened exactly there. The Italians have been able to get out, and Keys gets the basket side of the defense and gets the score. But it's all on the back of this increase in intensity from the Italians on the defensive end. They're closing out shooters, they're getting hands into passing lanes. That is exactly how they're going to take control of this game.
Now they've got their biggest lead of the game, 8 points. The Azzurre, can they capitalize? Can they continue to build on this and put this thing away? Hamzova fouled as she goes past Vila. Fouled by Vila.
And this is a critical phase now for the Czech team, trailing by 8, giving up a 7-point swing here early in the third quarter. They need to regain their composure quickly.
He almost had a layup off the inbounds pass, but Xander Lassini did well.
That's the right call from the officials. Just trying to run through a screen and barrel a screen into their own player. You're never going to get away with that.
Italy's just complaining because they made that call against them, the moving screen on a couple of occasions. So they feel like they're owed one.
There's a reason the Brezanova screen was moving, and it was because it was shoved.
Here is Holoshinska putting it up from deep off the back of the iron. Stupalova tries to say, look at Vila go behind her back. Now she goes back behind her back again. A little bit of razzle-dazzle, and Spriaffico for 3.
She continues to impress from outside.
She's got 9 points, all of it coming from deep.
And the double-digit lead for Italy now as well, 11 points. No wonder a timeout call. There's the corner pocket 3, and Spriaffico not expecting her to have such a big impact on this game, but getting it done, and defensively as well. She's putting in a shift. She really has helped out.
Ona se dostává, pak rolujeme, holky ještě větší pohyb, tak jsme říkali palec, dobře, palec, tak pojďme to rozhýbat, jo, v tom palci. Už to nehlás, jenom zařvi. Jdeš, dole clona, druhá strana jde, podívej se třeba na tu flat clonu nejdříve, podívej se na flat clonu, pak pokračuj dál, ale nemůžeme stát, nemůžeme stát.
And here's the 3 from the corner. Extended out to that double-digit lead, but it's the defense for Italy that has really been completely different in this second half. They're playing at a much different level, and all of these scores they're seeing in the replays, that's where they've come from. They've come from really good defense and getting out and running. And 10-0 start to the third quarter. And I think almost from that statistic that I take more is that Italy have had twice as many shots as the Czech Republic have had in this first 2.5 minutes. And you're never going to win a game if you only shoot the ball half as many times as your opponent.
Really interesting development in this Italy team. Spriatico playing in her first FIBA Women's EuroBasket at the age of 31. She's not only playing, she's starting, and she is making big plays, and it just makes you wonder, where has she been?
But how much motivation does that give you? You've
Even
waited
more.
till you're 31 to get to this stage. You are going to grab every second with everything you've got.
Tupolova loses it. Good D from Zandalicini, reaching in and knocking the ball.
Yeah, great defense from Zandalicini, just timing it, reading the driving lane well. It's always a little bit of a risk reaching in from that far away, but pays off this time.
Remember, knows Veronika Varachkova, the shooting guard of Prague, the 23-year-old for the Czech Republic, injured, not able to go today.
That's a real miss for the Czech team. She is a threat offensively, but also plays some really good defense as well.
Graphically dribbled it off her foot, and Zandalicini saved it before it went out of bounds. She's going to let it fly here. Oh, drives in. Look at Andre for the offensive rebound. Keys for three. And that is what I'm talking about. She can fill it up from deep.
Yeah, she definitely has that stroke, and she has good vision to understand when it's time for her to shoot the ball. The battle I'm looking off the ball, though, is Zandalicini against Holoshinska. It's just beautiful to watch. Two players who are not backing down from each other, the two superstars for their teams.
Holoshinska has it taken away by Keys. And it's been impressive how Italy have really turned it up a notch defensively. And Holoshinska fouls Jasmine Keys.
Yeah, the Czech Republic now up to 12 turnovers in this game, and the vast majority of them, I'd say, coming here in the second half. As you see the Keys three ball from the top. Love to see it in slow motion. Almost doesn't touch the net, it's so good.
I mean, she's, you know, she is a player that is improving a lot. And the fact that she can pop outside and hit that three-pointer makes her a very good player. Spriatico this time misses everything. But it was such a bad shot, it went to Olvis Andre. And there's only 4.2 on the shot clock for Italy. Pass goes off of Andre. Jorlova now. This is where the Czechs want to be on the break, but Italy hustle back. Brezanova now battling away with Zandalicini. Oh, look at that. Spriatico takes it right away.
That's just, you know, that's a mistake from Jorlova. That's a poor pass. She's not on the right angle. She's not tried to create any separation to find a passing lane, and potentially a sign of fatigue at this stage.
Andre catches and one. Oh no. It looked like, now the referees, one of them is calling an offensive foul and the other is calling a foul on the Czechs. And it looks like Prox is quite definitive in his call, so it's going to be an and one.
Yeah, it looked clearly for me that it was an and one situation.
Andre looked like she was almost out of bounds. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. He's saying the push came before she was out of bounds.
The timing of the foul.
So that was a good job for the referees to put their heads together to make sure they got the right call there. Look at Dillon. Wow. Now I'm starting to understand why Lena Lardo was talking about her being an exceptional talent.
She truly is a generational talent, and it's just when you watch her play, just how natural she is with the ball. She doesn't feel like she's trying to run fundamentals or anything like that. It just looks like it comes to her so naturally. And she reads it. Yeah, at the age of 18, it's scary to think where she could be in 2-3 times EuroBasket. Yeah.
So now the moving screen. And there you go. And that's when they call it on Chekova.
Well, that one's going into the FIBA referees training course. Nice easy one to call.
Oh, look at her. And again, this time she has to take it away. Andalova was was almost waiting, and Andalova did an exceptional job of making sure that she couldn't be tied up for the jump ball, so she got the foul on Vila.
Andalova is just 21 years as well, so that's a real battle between these two that we could be seeing for another 10, 15 years potentially.
Stupalova gets it. Andalova, good. Well, there you go.
And that's what Andalova needs to bring to the game. Oleszynska struggled in this second half. They've locked her out of the game a little bit more, Italy. So it's time for someone like Andalova to step up and take on that scoring burden.
Never seen lose control of it, goes out of bounds.
This is the play by Andalova. Real composure as well. Can't complain at the defense. The closeout from Andre was strong, but the shot was perfectly placed. As you see, Verona come back into the game and Villa head to the bench.
Oh boy, that is a killer for the Czechs as they try to claw back this deficit to turn it over.
And for Andalova, that's just a poor pass. She's trying to apportion maybe some of the blame onto a teammate, but that was just a bad pass. There's no other way to define that one.
Zandalicini. It's okay, they got what they wanted. Just settle for that.
Just the little things in the game that Zandalicini does then. Everyone else was playing at 100 miles an hour, and she just took the time to put a really purposeful pass fake in to try and open the defense up.
Virolova looked great in this half. Elvis Andre with the catch. Right Hamarova trying to stay with Verona. That's a charge. I think she wanted to pass, and then she realized it wasn't there.
The problem Italy have in this offense, as you see the replay of the charge, yeah, that's an easy one for the officials. That's great defensive stand, that wonderful help across by Stupalova. But what the Italians have there is their entire offense starts off that screen at the top. So the screen for Verona has to work. It has to create some space, otherwise the rest of the offense just becomes too compacted.
Andalova pass to Brezinova, pump fake. Nice play.
That's real composure from Brezinova. Brings them back to within 10 as well, and that signals Coach Lardo to call a timeout. And this is the moment, 2 minutes 45 left in the quarter. Brezinova trying to be a captain and lead the way with that play. But now it's for the Czechs to try and fight their way back in, because this has been a very Italian-dominated quarter so far.
Allora, giochiamo 2 adesso e arriviamo fino al bicchiere centrale, a meno che non abbiamo... Anzi, giochiamo 2... Vogliamo giocare 2 per Olbis. Ok? Olbis, gioca qui. Ok, Vest sei per Jazz adesso, ok? Di là? Va bene? Allora, se abbiamo passaggio dentro a Olbis, ok? Poi facciamo split, d'accordo? Con questa guardia qua, va bene? Se non facciamo, giochiamo pick and pop e andiamo avanti, va bene? Ok? Anzi, facciamo una roba. Giocalo tu il pick and roll, perciò fallo tu il blocco, ok? Perciò
Andalova stepping up in this second half, and she needs to, as her team needed to. Italy have worked out how to lock Oleszynska out of the game, and the Czech players now need to step in. Brezinova trying to get her team pumped, trying to get her team hyped back into this game, but 2:45 left in the third. For the Czechs to make a change. It's for the Czechs to disrupt the flow of this third quarter now. Into this zone defense now. Almost a 3-2 zone from the Czech team.
Graphico again, short.
Interesting that they switch almost into that 3-2. It's slightly loose, not structured on a rigid 3-2, but usually you drop into that if you're trying to chase shooters off the three-point line. And I wouldn't necessarily say that's exactly where this Italian roster that's on the floor now is going to hurt them.
3-point shot is good from Stupalova. And just like that, the Czechs have reeled off several points to get back to within 7.
And right now the Czech team have got a team that can stretch the floor. They can play 5 out, Brezanova, Stupalova. They can both shoot the 3-ball well.
Obis Andre had the layup. Stupalova couldn't quite get free to make that pass. Keys reaches in, knocks it away. Here's Hamzova, drives in. Oh, she finishes.
It's tough. That's unbelievable. What a play to stay with that play, to duck under. And at 21 years of age, show no fear in that situation. Phenomenal.
It's interesting, they make their run with certain Italians out of the game, i.e. Zandalicini, without Keys. And at some point, you wonder if Florida has to call timeout again.
I'll tell you who it's without as well. I don't want to put pressure on her.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're not looking as good with Verona on the floor, which is amazing because Verona, phenomenal player, but in this game, Villa has looked to be more composed.
She has. And there's Verona, just as you said that, almost coming up with a steal. Now Hamzova, she has to launch. She's able to get it off. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She will not be denied. Driving to the basket and now has an N1, an exceptional finish.
Absolutely unbelievable. But that is just the heart and desire that she's shown in every play. Both ends of the floor, she's gone hard all game. No bigger play than that, though. And with the passion and what she put into that play, it deserved to drop. Heads to the line now as well.
And again, the daughter of Romana Hamzova, the former Czech point guard. Maybe we'll see her daughter play one day. Another 20 years. You might still be around for that.
You might as well. You'll still be courtside. We'll have to tear you away.
Here's Verona for 3. Nope. And Andre, tough rebound and big putback.
That's big. And Andre doesn't grab any of the headlines or any of the kind of noise on this team, but steady away. She's getting big rebounds. She's putting in big plays.
Andalova, high arcing 3. They had so much success driving. You would have thought maybe trying to get back to the basket. And again, Verona, final seconds ticking off the clock. Bounce pass to Andre. That's more like it for Verona. So, what a lively encounter in Tel Aviv between Italy and the Czech Republic. Do not go away, folks. We've seen a lot from both of these teams, and right now it's Italy stretching their lead to 7 points at the end of 3 over the Czech Republic. What can we wean from these numbers?
Yeah, it's interesting, the numbers. You would have said the Italian team at one stage had a 14-point lead, and that was built off them playing some great defense, which you see with the Czech numbers starting to drop considerably. But then all of a sudden, the Czech team came alive and battled their way back into it, and you have to love that personality from the Czech team. They didn't roll over, they didn't give up, they were down by 14. They showed no fear, and they just fought their way back in. Very physical at times, but got the game going again.
Yeah, one thing that's really hurting them is they've left some shots out there at the free throw line. 3 of 8. Italy haven't shot it that well either, in fairness, 4 of 7. So we've seen enough, though, from this Czech team to think that they're going to be in this until the end.
Yeah, I think think so as well, and this resurgence from the Czech team as well was on the back of Holešinska, their star, not being on the floor, but in her place, Hamsova just steps in with big play after big play. Yeah, took the game on her shoulders and really helped her team discover some confidence again in that third quarter.
And then here, we've said we haven't seen the best of Verona today, and here she is executing the play right at the end of the third quarter. And Andre right where she needs to be.
Just the passing there, the vision and the precision of that passing, that is what Verona has done all season at club level. And if she can do that on this stage, then Italy really do look good with her on the floor.
Holešinska comes back into the game. Holešinska has 11 points to lead her team. Stupalova now has 7-8 for Hamsova. And that's just a little bit out of control there. Quickly putting it up is Sklenarova. 3-point shot from Pan, nope. And good job boxing out Sklenarova. Just no mean feat keeping those Italians off the boards. Oh, nice take in the end, and nice finish from Hamarova. The first points of the game.
Her handle at the top just left Verona in her dust. Verona was hoping there was some help from behind her, but no one turned up to assist her.
Messina in the game, having replaced Priafico, who's kind of cooled off here in the second half. Verona trapped, able to get the basketball to Messina. Messina, oh, what defense that was by the Czechs. They're going to run. Holešinska and trying to get a foul called on Verona. Referee's letting them play.
Real blitz-style defense from the Czech team there, and you love to see it. You know, when the defense disrupts and falls apart, you want to chase as hard as you can, but they turned the ball over this time.
There's Messina again. Oh, great D from Sklenarova.
I think they're going to have to give Brezinova a breather, though. The fatigue she's starting to show now. They're going to need her at the back end of this quarter. The game isn't going to be won or lost in the next 2 or 3 minutes. I'd have her on the bench because they're going to need her to close this one out.
Well, there she is. She gets it to her. Brezinova makes it. Might have to drag her out of the game, though. Looks like she wants to stay in.
I think she certainly takes her role as captain very seriously. She's very proud of the fact.
Messina almost traveling. Shot clock about to expire. Verona, she puts it up and she has it blocked. Holešinska. And dribbling in traffic, very dangerous position, but is able to get the foul called on Italy. Here it is, look at this.
And there's the pick and roll. Lovely pass from Holešinska again, just splitting the defense wide open, and Castagno really no chance to recover. She had to come across and help, and that's just a good finish by Brezinova. Look at the level of defense that Holešinska has to deal with now as well. Zandalacini chasing her, everyone bumping her when she cuts.
Stupalova, she had wanted the basketball in the previous possession from Holešinska and didn't get it. This time she just took matters into her own hands, and it's a 1-point game. And Holešinska fouls Zandalacini. It looked like she had a little look for her.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a square up there, those two taking on each other, but yeah, there's the score by Stupalova, and she just willed that one in more than anything else, I think. A little bit flat on the trajectory. But the basketball gods are looking kindly down upon her.
Oh, kudos to the Czechs. Looked like they were in real trouble. The pass to Pan. And good box out, Vyorlova.
Great play by Zandalacini, just split the defense, and that left the Czechs very vulnerable. Stolen though.
Look who's back in, Vila. She comes up with a steal. She crosses midcourt. Now she's going to get a layup. Are you kidding? Oh no, she misses the layup. Just that one element of her game, she just hasn't been able to finish on her drives. But boy, has she got every move in the book. And now Now another steal. This one from Zandalicini, the Italian defense coming to the fore. Oh, behind the back pass. Villa to Zandalicini. One of the plays of the game.
For me, the Italian team looks so much more confident, so much more fluid when Villa is running the point. Zandalicini, that's where your basketball IQ pays off. You can get in the passing lanes, and just a little bit of class from the 18-year-old with a behind-the-back pass. And they don't want to put pressure on her, but my goodness me, what a talent the Italian team have.
Podívat se, roztáhnout to, přenést, ať máme taky volnou trojku, ať máme volnou situaci. Měli jsme asi 2 zisky, podíváme se dopředu, aby jsme dali hnedka dlouhý pás, jo? Asi 2krát to tam bylo, přidali zakončení. Čipo, můžou být fauly radši předtím, jo? Můžeme si ještě něco dovolit, ale tvrdě tam bojujeme. Musíme zahrát ještě jednou ty parohy nahoru, ještě jednou zahrajeme.
Ta taky vychází, ale oni jdou furt vrchem, tak to hoďte obloukem a my jsme tady úplně
dobře, zahrajeme tu 5 a zkusíme ten.
Tough play where it was important for them in their comeback for Pulisic to get the basketball to Bresanova. Stupilova as well, again, making that shot. But really, it's Villa as well, who played for Italy at the FIBA Under-18, FIBA Women's Under-18 European Championship. FIBA Under-18 Women's European Championship last year in Greece and led them to a 5th place finish, averaging almost 19 points per game. Now she's jumped up to the main team. It's exciting to watch the youngsters find their way into stardom. Shot clock about to expire, and EuroBasket had no choice but to put up a crazy shot.
This is where the second half has been very different for Italy. Their defense has been so much crisper, so tighter.
Oh, nice handoff, Keys to Pad. And Stupilova fouls Pad and apologizes that Pad has words with her.
Not sure what more she can do, really. She accepts that she fouled her, she apologizes that she fouled her. Maybe she needs to send her a gift card in the post.
Zandalicini, number 9 is fine.
That's one of those plays from Zandalicini where she just goes on to autopilot. She just clicks in. There was nothing else going to happen in that play by the catch and shoot from Zandalicini.
Inside it goes Hamzova. She's getting all of her points right at the basket, isn't she? Here's Vila. She's the second leading scorer overall at the FIBA Women's Under-18, FIBA Under-18 Women's European Championship last year. Pad. Stagno. Backs up Yorlova. She was fouled.
The Czech Republic are clearly happy right now to start sending the Italian team to the free throw line. They're using their fouls up quite early within this game. It's their 3rd team foul of the quarter. Maybe they're playing on the fact that the Italian team aren't shooting free throws well either.
It's one of their strengths at the last FIBA Women's EuroBasket, shot better than 82%. Zandalicini missing it. Today they have not hit their free throws, although they haven't really taken that many, just 4 of 7. Hamzova, again, driving, tries to make the pass. Stagno did a great job of cutting over and preventing the pass. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
And you're right with the free throw situation. You feel that the Czech team have been pretty smart when they've committed their fouls, how they've committed their fouls. They haven't sent Italy to the free throw line. The last EuroBasket, the Italian team were averaging almost 20 free throw attempts a game.
Oh, she was out of bounds. Can you believe it? Polishishka thought she was trying to throw it off of the Italian, and then she picked it up too fast while her foot was still out of bounds. That's one problem they've had. Both teams really turnovers, but I guess that's a credit to the defense as well for the most part. 19 turnovers for the Czechs. Zandalicini, that is off. She probably settled. Maybe could have driven. Look at Vila.
The Italian offense again is starting to become a little bit stagnant. It doesn't seem to be that cohesive right now.
Hands up again. Oh, this time Vila cut in front but called for the foul. So Hamzova, who missed her only attempt on a potential three-point play earlier in the game, will go back to the line. Still only has 3 fouls, but you can see she's played a lot of minutes. She's tired.
And I think this is going to play a big part into this game as well. How the coaches have rotated their players, who have they given rests at what moments. Landolosini certainly put a shift into today's game. Brezanova has, but Brezanova's getting a little bit of a rest now on the Czech bench. It's just how these players step up in these fatigue moments. This game is, as we expected, looking like it's going to go all the way to the wire.
Czechs do not want to lose this game, especially because they've got Belgium tomorrow. Meanwhile, Italy, if they could get a win today, they would then go up against Israel, and you know they would be favored to win that and to go 2-0. So big moment in the tournament for both of these teams. Brezanova comes back into the game.
And that's a nice move from coach Tachkova, because she comes back into the game and they only trail by 1. She's gained a good breather and she'll be able to put some energy back onto the floor, because she has caused Italy problems.
Vila inbounds with the keys, who makes a great catch. Here's Vila. Watch her ball handling, folks. Shot clock about to run down. She gets into the paint. Beautiful pass to Pan. And Pan. She was on in the first half, but has not been on in the second.
It's gone cold in the second half for Italy, really, from outside.
The Czechs can move back in front. Holishishka drives in. Good D from Pan, and then Keys. Here's Vila, look at her go!
That is no fear from an 18-year-old. She doesn't care what situation it is, the pressure, the fact that it's a close game on the opening day of one of the biggest tournaments on the planet. Go straight to the bucket, get the score.
For the best team in Italy, the foul by Vila. So they've got another one to give as well before they put the Czechs on the line, but if you're good enough, you're old enough, and clearly number 2 for Italy is good enough.
Big changes by both teams now as well, as they try and make these final rotations. Oleshinska's going to go to the bench. I imagine we'll see her back within a minute or so. They'll try and get her as much of a breather as they can, but realistically, the Czech team need both Brezanova and Holeshinska on the floor at the same time.
Boy, great D from Italy, almost coming up with a steal. The Czechs cannot afford to turn the basketball over, which they've done a lot today.
Yeah, 19 turnovers, which is tough to win any game when you give away that many possessions.
Although, in fairness, Italy have also turned it over a lot. So Italy has 17 points off the Czech turnovers. The Czechs have 16 points off of the 17 Italian turnovers. They get it to Brezanova.
Coach Lardo saying surely that was an inbound violation. 5 seconds have gone, but the officials signal it was 4.
Over. Look at the D from Olbis Andre. Great defense. Well, they didn't get the 5-second call, but it was just as good. They didn't even let him attempt a shot.
That is unbelievable defense. And we've heard so many coaches and players talk about this in the build-up to this tournament, that we're going to play tough defense. We're building everything from the defensive end, but we've seen 2 teams here today, and you can see by the turnovers and steal numbers, that's exactly what they're looking to do. They're looking to build everything they do positively from good defense.
What a play. Vila almost just didn't finish, but doesn't matter because Landolosini gets the long rebound. Spriafico for 3. And again, we wonder down the road, this might be a weakness of Italy because they just have not been able to knock down open jump shots in this second half.
Yeah, they've not been short of those opportunities either. They've run their offense to create that space, but the efficiency just hasn't been there.
Three-point look. Oh, it goes in and out for Viorlova, and great hustle from Andalova, but Andre putting the pressure on.
Really interesting that Coach Lardo is keeping Via on the floor. The 18-year-old, you know, often you get players moaning, I want to be in the starting five, I want to be in the starting five. You speak to any coach, the starting five don't matter. It's the finishing five that matter. They're the team that he thinks has the most capability of closing a game out.
Sandalcini, strong move inside, but doesn't get it to go. Look at the toughness from Stupalova. Coming up with the basketball. Hamalova. Brezanova feed set, puts it up and ties the game. She wears number 0, but she just got 30 big points for the Czechs to tie the contest at 56. And much of this has to do with the fact that Italy have not hit their shots. We talked about it. And while the Czechs now are 7 of 15 from three-point range, Italy have gone now down to 6 of 24. And that is right after Spriafico's latest miss. Or was it bad? Anyway, let's go down to the bench.
Facciamo rimessa da qua, ok? Perciò abbiamo tutto il tempo, ok? Giochiamo maglia, ok? Va bene? Allora, dove vuoi attacchi con la mano destra? Sì. Ok? Quinta, se puoi attacchi subito. Olbis, tu sei questa, attenta che magari se la tua aiuta per uno scarico. Se non vai, tieni palla, Ceci, giochiamo pick and roll con Jazz. Va bene? E poi tu vieni su, Olbis.
Andiamo.
1, 2, 3.
Renata Brezanova has taken a pounding mark, but she has delivered a couple of big shots here. Go to 12 points.
Oh, huge. She's put so much on the floor. Played just shy of 30 minutes now, and she's still hitting big plays. The emotional leader. And you said she wears the number 0. She's quickly turning into the hero.
You are a poet. You know it. So Brezanova hits her second three-pointer. And the Czech Republic, despite having trailed in this game by 14 points, have tied the game. Sandalcini back to Keys. Vila, the 18-year-old, gets it to Andre. What a tough play. Keys goes up for the rebound. And the only thing that Italy are not doing is finishing. Otherwise, everything they're drawing up the play, everything is working to perfection.
You can't ask for any more. Coach Lardo has run good structures. His team are executing well. It's that finishing touch, and you don't know if it's fatigue. Is it the pressure of opening game of the big tournament? But they need to overcome this, because otherwise the Czech team are going to run away with a big day one win.
Sandalcini doesn't even get the shot off. And, you know, we talked about this at the beginning of the game. It's going to be won in the paint. It's going to be won by the defense. And we've now seen both teams come up with stops and force 24-second shot clock violations.
For me, the Czech team didn't stop Sandalcini then. She just lacked the heads up to know that the shot clock was running down, and that's a real surprise. She is an absolute top-level player, but that just shows that the fatigue, the pressure, the situation she's in even affects players of that caliber.
Yeah, maybe it was the loss of concentration. Stupalova to Brezanova.
She looked for the 3. She looked for the 3 ball if it was there.
Hamzova Oleshishina for 3. It's good! Go Heels! She knocks it down. Number 13. And the Czechs up by 3, and the Italians might have blown a huge opportunity to get a win today. Well, they hit a 3 to tie it. Sandalcini, it's go time. Steps back, the jumper, it's good.
That's what she brings you. She brings you that clutch. She brings you the ability just to create for herself and execute when a team needs her most. But Czech team still in the driving seat.
Italy need a stop. They're only trailing by 1 point. They don't want to wait too long before they get a shot off Hamzova. And Andre comes up, and Hamzova gets it. She's going to get it for a layup. The Czechs have taken a 3-point lead. Can you believe it? It looked like they had waited too long. almost turned it over. And Hamzova picks up the loose ball and goes in for yet another layup. She's got
And you have to feel for the Italian team here. They've worked hard to steal it away, but Hamzova just did not give up on the play. She refused to accept that she turned the ball over, chased it down, and the Italian defense wasn't able to recover in time.
In fact, it wasn't a loose ball, it was a steal. 14 points for her. Let's listen to Lino Lardo.
Però ci vorrebbe qui insieme. Vabbè, fai tu Matilde questo passaggio, ok? Laura, parti da qua, ok? Qui abbiamo Jazz e qui abbiamo Olbis, ok? Allora, Laura, forte vai, prova anche a vedere se prende questo blocco qua, se è libera gliela dai, ma l'obiettivo è Cecilia, vai forte e qui chiudiamo l'elevator, ok? Se per caso cambiano, Jazz salta dentro, se vedi che lei è pronta a uscire, salta dentro, ok? Abbiamo un tiro da ok, 1, 2, 3.
See, instinctively right now, you would think that they're looking to draw something up to go to Zana Lassini. She's the experienced one, she's their offensive focus. She's 0 from 3 from outside today though. She's not in the flow, she's not in the rhythm, but on the flip side of that, find me a player in this Italian team right now that is in rhythm from shooting.
I think you got to go with whoever can get open to shoot a three, because if the Czechs are smart, in my opinion, well, do you let them take the three? Maybe, because they haven't been making them. But then you run the risk of giving away the rebound. But anyway, you want to play defense. You definitely do not want to foul on the three-point shot.
No, just stay true, stand tall is all they need.
Yeah, that's her. Oh boy, that was risking it. And the Czechs are going to get away with the win on opening day. They have stunned the Azzurri. They trailed by 14 points, but they just kept plugging away with hard-souled defense. And Italy are paying the price because they missed a lot of shots in this second half. The Czech Republic winning 61-58 over Italy on opening day here in Tel Aviv.
That is exactly what we wanted from this game, a game to go to the wire, and you can't begrudge the Czech team the win. They stayed true for the 40 minutes. The Italians looked great at the start of that third quarter, but the Czech team refused to back down. They battled, they stayed in the game, they kept their focus for the entire game, and that's what's given them the win. The fact that they stayed with the game plan, they stayed completely focused on what they were trying to achieve, and they will enjoy this win. This is a huge win that gives them the foundation to build a run at the latter stages of this tournament. You look at the statistics, and really, for the Italian team, second half of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter, they just struggled to find any kind of mid to long range form, and that's cost them the game.
Yeah, everything was there for the Italian victory except the finishing touch. And in a sense, you feel for them because they came out and executed the game plan. They just did not make their shots. But on the other hand, you tip your hat to the Czechs because when their backs were against the wall, they could have folded up their tent and gone home. And in the end, they ground out a most impressive victory here over Italy. And it's like you said, now the possibilities are endless. I mean, they've almost got 1 foot at least in the qualification for the quarterfinal round. Granted, they have to play Belgium tomorrow. Now all the pressure will go on Italy, who will have to take on the host Israel.
Oh, there's so many knock-on, off the back of this game. For the Czech side, the one big one that I look at as well is we talked about Varachkova before the game, how important it is. Potentially that gives them the chance to rest her in the next game and give her a chance to potentially come back to even full fitness. If they'd lost tonight, would they have thrown the dice and said, you know what, we're going to have to put her in the next game because we've got to win. She's not going to be fully fit. There's more opportunities now for the Czechs to build towards this qualification, but for the Italian team, it does. In this format, it comes down to a do-or-die situation now, and they will need to go into the next game and get the job done. They can't afford to slip up like they did in the back end of the third and the whole of the fourth quarter.
Well, it is certainly shaping up to be a rather entertaining, certainly edge of your seats. FIBA Women's EuroBasket, 2 great games so far today in Tel Aviv. And next up will be Israel and Belgium. Of course, we'll see Latvia and Spain later tonight, but this game's gonna be hard to beat just because of the intensity and the defense. And the Czechs, hey, listen, they were out rebounded substantially by the Italians, but they were still able to hold on. Probably that's the big difference between them and Greece, is they weren't punished for giving away so many second chances because Italy just couldn't make their shots.
Yeah, you feel that Italy have everything that they need to progress to the latter stages, but just today, they just didn't have that focus. They didn't have the finish, and the Czech team just stayed true. They stayed consistent pretty much throughout the entire game. It was really the hare and the tortoise kind of feel in that third quarter. The Italians got out quickly. They got a big 14-point lead, but the Czech team didn't fade, and that was a huge play. That was probably the game-breaking play, really, there from Hamzova. She, didn't give up. She looked like she'd lost the ball. She chased it down, gets possession back, and then gets the score against, well, pretty much no Italian defense, because I don't think they expected it. There's a celebration from Brezanova, and you know how much it means to her right now.
Well, they climbed to the top of Europe back in 2005, the Czech Republic. We've been waiting. Saw them reach the final of the World Cup in 2010, and here they are, really one of their better moments since, maybe the best moment since, improving to 1-0 on opening day with come-from-behind win over Italy.